Everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to, and you are going to be okay. Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now look, sometimes in life, we can be going through a series of lows. Day after day, there's a new thing that comes up that is difficult to deal with. There's a new thing that comes up that just knocks you off balance again and again and again, and you feel like you're not getting any wins. You feel like everything is going wrong. And you look at all the things that are happening to you, some out of your control, and you just wonder, where do you go from here? What could you possibly do to change this situation? What possibly is going to go wrong next? And because of that, you develop this sense of self-pity, whereby every single day, because you feel so bad about everything that's going on, you feel so stressed about all the things that are happening, some, as I said, out of your control, you just start wallowing and feeling sorry for yourself. And this propels you into a worse and worse state whereby you become a bit hopeless. I wanted to say in this video that there have been many times in my life where I have felt the same way. Nothing feels like it's going right. Everything that possibly could go wrong is going wrong. And I felt like my back was against the wall. But every single time, I've got out of it. Every single time, life, in some way or another, switches things up. But the only way I managed to do that is by staying in the game and continuing to work and continuing to hustle. And this is the reality, guys. Look, there are going to be moments, sometimes very prolonged moments, where you wonder, what is the point? You wonder, I'm trying so hard, I'm getting no results. You wonder, no matter what I do, everything always seems to go wrong. I always mess it up. You think to yourself that, all the time, things that are out of my control are going wrong, and I'm just unlucky. I shouldn't bother. And it's the worst possible approach that you can take, guys, because look, the reality is that if you stay in the game and you keep pushing and you keep trying and you keep fighting through the adversity, one day it's going to work. You got to look at some of the most successful people in history. You got to go back hundreds of years and look at all the leaders of great nations who brought those nations immense wealth, power, and prosperity. And think about all the battles that they had to fight through, all of the difficult times that they had to struggle through. Do you think that if they just gave up, down tools, and decided, you know what, that's it, you know what, I've got nothing more in the tank, that they would be even discussed today? And look, the answer is no. The answer is no. So why is it the same for yourself? If you want all these great things and you want to change your life and build something special, you don't want to follow in your family's footsteps. You want to be the one who changes the game. You want to be the one who does things differently. Why are you following the obvious blueprint for failure? Everybody goes through difficult times. The people that get through those difficult times are the people that keep going, are the people that persist, are the people that say, you know what, I am struggling right now. You know what, this is a challenge, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to see it through. And one day I'm going to win. But the reality is, guys, you will never ever win if you quit. But you will never ever lose if you don't quit. So the choice is yours. The question you want to ask yourself is, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? When your children are carrying your coffin at your funeral and they are saying their goodbyes, what image do you want them to have in their head about their father? What do you want them to think about the man that their dad was? Do you want them to think that, yeah, Dad was a nice guy, a good guy, but he didn't live up to his potential. He was always telling us about the things that he wished he would have done. He was always telling us about all of the mistakes that he felt he made. He was always telling us about all of the unmade decisions that he never acted on. Do you want that to be the reality? Or do you want your children to say that you were a wonderful, inspiring man who led by example? Do you want your children to say that you gave them the strength to fight through adversity through your example? They say, you know what? Dad didn't have it easy. Dad had a really tough life. But Dad worked really, really hard, and Dad never packed it in, no matter what. There were times where it would have been justifiable for him to step away and work less hard, but he never did, and for that I will always respect him. And because of him, what I am going to do is I'm going to teach the similar values to my children. Now, I think 99% of people watching this video right now know how they want to be remembered out of those two examples. Where to go from here is extremely simple. It is going to be tough. It is going to be a battle. At times it's going to feel unfair. But unfortunately, sometimes life isn't fair. Now, we can sit here and talk about how unfair that is, or we can accept it as the reality that it is, and we can say, you know what, it might not be fair all the time. Not everybody has the same opportunities, but with the opportunities that come my way, with the options that I have, I am going to give absolutely everything I can. And no matter what happens to me in my life, no matter what difficulty I go through, no matter what stress I am under, no matter what unfair circumstance I am under, I am going to make a commitment to myself to keep going. You must have an impenetrable mind, gentlemen, because life is tough. It's going to throw so much at you. If you are one of these guys who wants to be successful and be the one in his family who is different, the one in his family who sets a different pace, a different tone, then you have to be prepared to fight through the battles. You have to be prepared to stick it out. Because if you can't do that, you can't become that. That's the reality. Some people get lucky, but this is less than 1% of people. Don't bank on luck. Instead, bank on you and the work that you are going to put in. Things are going to be tough sometimes, but I promise you, if you make a commitment to yourself to never give up, to never give in, and to never stop, you will win. You've got to say to yourself, I'm going to die trying. I'm going to die trying. Because the alternative is giving up and taking the easy route. But in some senses, if you do that, you die whilst living. You know? Wouldn't you rather go out on your shield fighting for the things that you want, fighting for the people that you love, rather than just giving up and being alive but dead in the same time, and living out your years a shell of what you could be? Gents, the choice is yours. As I said, sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's not fair. But you can whinge about it, you can moan about it, you can cry about it, or you can say, you know what, it is what it is. I'm just going to get going. Look guys, I really hope that in one way or another you've taken some value from this video today. If you have, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts down below. All three of those things make a big impact for me as a small channel who's looking to grow as big as possible this year. As always, guys, I host a free men's Discord community. I'm going to leave the link down below in the description. If you're interested in joining, feel free to do so. And if you're interested in one-to-one coaching with me on a more personal basis where we can spend a bit more time together, planning your goals, planning your strategy, and addressing some areas of your life that need improvement, feel free to click the link down below in the description and book yourself a call with me, and I'll see you on the other side. As always, guys, thank you for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next one. Good luck.